Hey YouTubers, how you doing? It's Mind Body Spirit again. I want to talk a couple of minutes about the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The reason I want to bring this up is because Rand Paul, who I'm not that fond of Rand Paul, but I think he's better than than a lot of other people, any Republican or Democrat. But I am a fan of Ron Paul, and I think that he's a great man. But his son Rand Paul is nowhere near the caliber of man he is. But that being said, Rand Paul went to Howard University, and he was speaking to Howard University is a historically black university or college, and I guess his attempt is he's a Republican. I'm not a Republican. His attempt is to try to bridge the gap between Republicans and blacks so that he could get their vote and just trying to forward the Republican agenda and all that. So he went down there. Then he went to another college too, and he was talking to them too. And again, it was for the purposes of kind of bridging that gap and taking the first step to appeal to African American voters. Well, undoubtedly what came up is that his stance on the Civil Rights Act of 64. And the Civil Rights Act, that's when the EEOC was established, and it was talking about equal protection regarding the 14th Amendment. And all that. I don't want to get all into the weeds in regards to that, but what I find most interesting about the Civil Rights Act of 64, it was this one tenet. And Ron Paul, his dad, actually took the same stance that they took issue with when it came to the Civil Rights Act of 64. And the issue that they took with was property rights. And without even knowing it, progressives and conservatives, well, I think it's mostly progressives, but whether you're conservative or progressive, if you took the position to where this was an issue, uh, it's because you don't understand the libertarian position on this. Now, Rand Paul is not a libertarian. But he takes the libertarian stance on this particular thing, or he takes what you would call the traditional Republican stance on this. And that is that the government's job is to protect property rights and is guaranteed under the Constitution. And I agree. I think that if you own a private business, you should not be forced to serve anyone you don't want to. I don't care what kind of business it is. You should not be forced to serve blacks, women, whites, midgets, tall people, now laters, 40 ounces, whatever it is. You ought not be forced to serve anybody anything. You reserve the right, based upon private property, as long as you're not getting any money from the government, to do with your business what you choose. And you can discriminate against who comes in and who serves. And that could be a private business open to the public. So they choose to be open to the public, but they can have a very private club if they want, such as like Augusta, Georgia, like down at the Masters. It's a private club. I have no problem with private clubs and trying to get African Americans in, black people, whatever you want to call it, Negroes, colored, whatever, women. I think that they should not be forced to take anyone in. And it flies in the face of number one of logic. Number one, just like that guy who tried to get into a Miss America contest, to prove a point. Back a little while back, where a girl tried to get the VMI. She had really no. She didn't want to become a soldier. She just wanted to go to VMI because they said that she couldn't because she was a woman. Now, if it's a private institution or if it's a private business, they shouldn't have to accept anyone that they don't want to accept. That's the reason it's called private. And you're not a racist just because you don't want. You're not a sexist. You're not a midget hater or anything because you don't want to serve or to accommodate every single business. And but this purpose serves everybody. In my private home, I discriminate. There's nothing wrong with to discriminate. To discriminate is to say that you choose one thing over another. Anything the thing that you do not choose or you did not select is discriminated against. That's what's called a discriminatory practice. So it's nothing wrong with discriminating. Now, race, color, creed, sex, whatever you want to call it, a person should have the right to discriminate when it comes to their private property. And we do it every day in our home, which is our private property. Our cars, our private property. Our iPods and cell phones or whatever, it's our private property. And if people want to use it, We don't just give it to them, and if we don't let them use our cell phone, therefore we're racist. Or we don't let them jump on our car, therefore we're racist. If it's your private property, you have control of it. You can determine, um, you know, who uses it, even when people come to your home, who comes in your house, who doesn't come to your house. All the same things. It's a very simple concept, and I don't know why people have such issue with it. The fact of the matter is that your private property, no matter what color, creed, race, whatever you are, it's yours, and the government should be protecting those rights. And that's it. That's all I have to say about that. But I'd be interested in hearing what people have to say in regards to that, because there are a lot of people pretty upset with Ron Paul, with Rand Paul and Ron Paul, because they said that they would have voted that particular tenant down in regards to the Civil Rights Act. So let me know what you think, and I'm going to read the comments and kind of see where you guys stand on it. Thanks a lot.